Hello, my name is Tony Gamino, and I chose the Swiss shoe and apparel company On for my digital presence assessment project. The agenda for my assessment is as follows: an executive summary followed by reviews of On's website, their social media presence, advertising, a brief look at their competition, and finally, my suggestions for improving their digital presence and reach. First up is the executive summary. On was founded in 2010 by two Swiss running enthusiasts, but really took off when tennis legend Roger Federer became an investment partner in 2019. The company's Cloud series garnered a lot of attention with their funky look as part of the growing ugly shoe movement, which is marked by wild color combinations and chunky foam soles, sometimes reaching an inch or more in thickness. On is very visible and active in the digital space, including a bespoke global website, and has a presence on most of the large social media platforms including Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. While On's digital presence is impressive for a company that's only a little over a decade old, there are definite areas where they can improve their digital marketing strategy. It must require a strategy that is focused on the long term, like a marathon versus a sprint. So, the big question is, does the ugly shoe movement have legs, and how can On break out of the pack? While reviewing and researching the website, particularly the homepage, it came to my attention that the site does not utilize AMP, or Accelerated Mobile Pages, which optimizes pages for fast loading. Additionally, On's website is not fully ADA compliant, meaning that it is not optimized with tools such as assistive technologies for users with sight or oral limitations. Examples include the lack of H1 titles on every page, inconsistent hierarchy, and a lack of keyboard control for navigation. There is also very little text on the homepage, which could harm On's Google search rankings. Finally, although there are videos buried a couple clicks into the site, the homepage lacks video, and websites with video are shown to have higher conversion rates and are preferred by consumers and proven to boost sales. Moving on to social, On has accounts on most of the leading platforms including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Strava, a popular fitness app among runners and cyclists with an active social component. With nearly 900,000 users, Instagram has by far On's biggest user and follower base. Verified followers such as Roger Federer, fitness guru Don Saladino, and the luxury gym brand Equinox all help boost the company's reach. On's Instagram page features a link to the online shop above the fold, which is great for directing users to purchase their gear and increase conversions. On has just over 500,000 followers on Facebook. A link to the shop is also prominently featured near the top of the page. When On first decided to expand into the United States, Facebook was the platform of choice to launch their first branded digital advertising campaign. More on that later. With just over 31,000 followers, Twitter has On's lowest follower base of the platforms on which it has a presence. It also has a low user engagement rate of 0.1%. 1% or more is considered good. Just above Twitter, but growing rapidly, is On's YouTube page. While 32,500 might not seem like a lot compared to other athletic giants like Nike with nearly 1.7 million subscribers, it is rather high compared with other companies in the running space, including the leading Runner's World magazine, which has 82,000 subscribers. More impressive is the growth of On's YouTube channel, given that it is only a decade old, specifically the fact that it has twice the video views of Runner's World. Strava is a fitness app geared towards runners and cyclists. It was one of the first to incorporate a social aspect into its platform, allowing members to build communities to track and share their progress, as well as compete with other members. On's LinkedIn page is well designed and very clean. I mean, they're Swiss after all, and its primary use is to connect current employees as well as promote job opportunities. The reason I wanted to include LinkedIn is because of the Pages People Also Viewed sidebar, which happens to list On's three primary competitors in the high-end running shoe category. And by high-end, I mean an average price of $150 or greater per pair. So, about those competitors, let's look at the data. Here are the other three leading companies in the elite running space: Hoka One One, Salomon, and Brooks. as you can see by this comparison, On holds up pretty well compared with its competition, particularly my favorite Hoka, which surprisingly has no Twitter presence at all. Salomon has the greatest digital presence by far, which I found to be quite surprising given that it has the lowest favorability of the four in the industry and the running community. Also, according to Run Repeat, a leading shoe rating site founded by self-described shoe fanatics. Next, I'd like to briefly discuss On's advertising strategy, in particular the Facebook campaign I mentioned earlier. So On chose Facebook as the platform on which it wanted to advertise upon entry into the crowded United States market. This data comes from an internal Meta case study. The campaign featured both video and static imagery, targeted the coveted 18 to 45-year-old demographic, and was focused on what the company described as key American cities, primarily those with known active running communities. The campaign resulted in an 18% jump in ad recall, 11-point boost in brand awareness, and almost a 3% increase in purchase intent. So I'm not going to read the quote here, but as you can see, the head of On's US e-commerce business was very thrilled with the results of the Facebook campaign, and they continue to reap benefits from it. So finally, here are my suggestions for ways that On can increase their digital presence and boost conversions and sales going forward. First, On should optimize its pages with AMP technology for faster load times. The accessibility issue needs to be addressed, not only to expand the potential audience, but to avoid legal issues in markets that require adherence with accessibility standards. The company should also include video on their homepage, such as this one featuring Roger Federer that they used on social, which invited their followers to engage in what they called the Clubhouse Shuffle. Moving on to social, for Twitter, On should consider boosting some posts and improving the quality of their tweets, which should result in an increased reach. For Facebook, the company needs to be more consistent with posting as their page is not updated regularly. In fact, there have been only 2 posts in the month of May so far. Finally, On should establish a presence on both Snapchat and TikTok to appeal to a younger, fashion-conscious audience. Over 230 million young people use these platforms daily, and $825 million was spent on TikTok alone in the first quarter of 2021. And with that, I thank you as it concludes my digital presence assessment for On Running.